7 tips to grow healthy ZZ plant. Watering, low light, leaf propagation and care. Hey there, Earthly Delights family. Have you ever brought home a beautiful plant, only to watch it struggle and wither despite your best efforts? You're not alone. So many plant lovers, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned indoor gardener, face this frustration. You care deeply about your green friends, but busy schedules and tricky plant needs can make success feel out of reach. Well, today, you're in for a treat. We're talking about a houseplant that's practically indestructible, the ZZ plant. Whether your home is bathed in sunlight or tucked into cozy shadows, this plant thrives with minimal care. And trust me, you're going to want one in every room. In this video, I'll be sharing 7 essential tips to help your ZZ plant grow healthy and strong. From perfect watering techniques to easy propagation hacks, you'll learn everything you need to succeed. Plus, I'll share a few personal stories and expert tricks I've picked up over years of nurturing my own indoor jungle. So, if you're someone who loves plants but doesn't always have the time, or if you've ever thought, maybe I just don't have a green thumb, stick with me. I promise, by the end of this video, you'll feel confident and inspired to grow your very own thriving ZZ plant. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our Earthly Delights community. Here, we grow together, one plant, one story, and one delight at a time. Ready? Let's get started. So, let's dive in. What exactly makes the ZZ plant a must-have for indoor plant lovers like you? Well, if you're someone who craves a lush, green space but struggles with limited time or low light, this plant is about to become your new best friend. The ZZ plant, or Zamioculcas zamiifolia, is famous for one thing: it thrives on neglect. Yes, you heard that right. It's the ultimate set it and forget it plant, perfect for busy professionals, apartment dwellers, or anyone who has ever thought, I love plants, but I just don't have a green thumb. But don't let its easygoing nature fool you. This plant is full of charm. Its deep green, glossy leaves instantly add elegance to any room. Whether you place it on a side table, a bookshelf, or even in a low-lit hallway, the ZZ plant makes a statement without demanding much in return. Plus, did you know it's a natural air purifier? Research shows that ZZ plants help remove toxins from indoor air, so while it's beautifying your home, it's also helping you breathe a little easier. And here's something for the gift givers out there. The ZZ plant is a symbol of prosperity and endurance, making it a thoughtful present for birthdays, housewarmings, or even a child's first plant. So, if you've ever felt discouraged by high-maintenance plants, the ZZ plant is your chance to shine. Trust me, it's more than just a plant. It's your gateway to an indoor jungle that thrives on simplicity and resilience. Alright, now that you're acquainted with this green gem, let's get into the real secrets. How to help your ZZ plant grow strong, healthy, and happy. Up next, we'll cover the perfect spot to place your plant to keep those shiny leaves looking their best. Stay with me, because your indoor oasis is just getting started. Now that you know why the ZZ plant is a star, let's talk about one of the biggest questions every plant lover asks. Where should I keep it? If you've ever felt unsure about lighting or placement, don't worry. You're not alone. And here's the good news. The ZZ plant is one of the most forgiving indoor plants you'll ever meet. First things first, this plant hates direct sunlight. If you place it near a window with harsh rays, those glossy leaves will burn and turn yellow. Instead, aim for bright, indirect light, like near a window with sheer curtains. But what if you live in a place with little natural light? Or your home office only has a small window? Relax. The ZZ plant thrives in low to medium light areas too. Think about your space, corners, side tables, even that shady spot in your bedroom. It's all fair game. And here's a fun fact. The ZZ plant actually loves living under artificial light. So, if you're someone with an office job or a small apartment with limited windows, this plant will happily keep you company under your desk lamp. But here's my golden tip. If you want the best growth, choose bright indirect light. You'll notice those deep green leaves becoming fuller and shinier. However, if you're placing it in a darker spot, it's okay, it will still survive, but it will grow more slowly. So, whether you're a city apartment dweller or living in a cozy house with limited sun, the ZZ plant fits perfectly into your lifestyle. In fact, the slower growth rate in low light is a hidden bonus. It means less pruning and more time to simply enjoy its beauty. Next up, we'll uncover a critical factor that many plant owners get wrong: choosing the right pot and soil. Trust me, this part can make or break your plant's success, so stay with me. So, you found the perfect spot for your ZZ plant, great job. But here's where many plant lovers slip up: picking the wrong pot and soil. Trust me, I've seen it happen, but don't worry, by the end of this section, you'll know exactly how to keep your ZZ plant's roots happy and thriving. Let's start with the pot. I know how tempting it is to choose a pot based only on looks: ceramic, plastic, terracotta, or even those trendy metal ones. But guess what? The ZZ plant isn't picky about style, it's picky about comfort. And comfort, for this plant, means being root-bound. That's right, ZZ plants love snug spaces. So, if you're thinking of repotting into something huge, hold that thought. A tight pot actually helps the plant grow stronger, with fuller, shinier leaves. But here's the deal breaker: your pot must have drainage holes. No exceptions. Without them, water pools at the bottom. And that's a one-way ticket to root rot. And trust me, root rot is every plant parent's nightmare. Now, let's dig into the soil. If you're thinking of using regular garden soil, stop right there. ZZ plants are tough, but they won't survive in heavy, waterlogged soil. They need something special. A blend that's well-draining yet firm enough to support their stems. So here's my secret mix, the one I swear by. A good base of potting soil to give nutrients, coarse sand or perlite to help water drain quickly, and just a little bit of compost to keep the roots well fed. This blend is the perfect balance: loose enough to prevent rot, but firm enough to keep those tall stems from flopping over. And here's something most people don't know: ZZ plants actually hate soft, fluffy soil. I've tested it myself. When I planted one in soft succulent mix, it started bending and leaning. The moment I switched to a firmer blend, it bounced back beautifully. One more tip: don't rush to repot. When you first bring your ZZ plant home from the nursery, leave it in the same pot for at least 3 months. Let it settle into your space. And when it's finally time to repot, only go 1 or 2 inches bigger. Bigger pots hold more water, and more water means more chances for rot. So, remember, good drainage, firm soil, and no rush to repot. Stick with these rules, and your ZZ plant's roots will stay as happy as its leaves. Alright, we've got the pot and soil covered. Now it's time for the real test: watering. Trust me, this is where most plant parents go wrong. But don't worry, I'm about to show you how to get it just right. Stay with me, because your ZZ plant's best days are just ahead. Alright, plant lovers, this is where things get serious. If there's one thing that kills more ZZ plants than anything else, it's overwatering. I know, it sounds strange, right? You'd think a plant this hardy could handle a little extra water. But trust me, when it comes to watering your ZZ plant, less is more. So, here's the golden rule: before you water, ask yourself, does it really need it? You see, the ZZ plant has these incredible rhizomes, like little bulbs underground, that store water for weeks. That's why it survives so well in low light or if you're someone who travels often. But these bulbs are also delicate. When they get too much water, they rot, and once that happens, it's game over. So, how do you know when it's time to water? Forget the old, once a week, rule. Here's my trick: the stick test. Take a wooden stick, or even your finger, and push it deep into the soil until it reaches the bulbs. If it comes out dry, then it's time to water. If it's even slightly damp, wait. And when you do water, go all in. Yep, soak it thoroughly until water runs out of the drainage holes. But here's the catch: never let it sit in water. Empty the saucer immediately, because even a little standing water can rot those precious rhizomes. And here's a tip from my own experience: when in doubt, underwater. I've left my ZZ plant without water for over a month while traveling. And guess what? It was totally fine. But the one time I overwatered? Yellow leaves, rotting stems, it was a disaster. So remember, ZZ plants can bounce back from dryness, but they won't forgive drowning. Next, we're going to cover a topic that sparks endless debate. Can you grow a ZZ plant from just a leaf? Stick around, because I'll share the truth, and my own results from trying it. Stay with me, because your plant journey is just getting greener. Alright, plant lovers. Here comes one of the most exciting parts of owning a ZZ plant: propagation. Imagine turning one plant into many without spending another penny. But here's where things get confusing. Some people say you can grow a new ZZ plant from a single leaf, while others claim it never works. So, what's the truth? Well, I've tested it myself, and today, I'm sharing exactly what works and what doesn't. First, let's talk about leaf propagation. Yes, it's possible, but here's the catch: it takes patience. A lot of patience. I once planted a ZZ leaf and waited months, and just when I was about to give up, a tiny root appeared. So, if you're trying leaf propagation, be prepared. It's slow, but it works. But if you're like me and want faster results, go with stem cuttings or rhizome division. Stem cuttings are easy. Just snip a healthy stem, pop it in water, and watch the roots grow. It's like magic. Plus, it's a great way to decorate your shelves with cute little propagation jars while you wait. Now, here's my favorite method: rhizome division. If your ZZ plant is big and bushy, simply divide it at the roots. It's quick, reliable, and you'll have a brand new plant instantly. In fact, most of my biggest ZZ plants came from divisions. So, whether you're patient with leaves or speedy with stems and rhizomes, propagation is your ticket to an indoor jungle, without breaking the bank. And let me tell you, there's something so satisfying about growing new plants from your own hands. Up next, we'll talk about something every ZZ plant owner needs to know: feeding and fertilizing. How often should you do it? What's the best fertilizer to keep those leaves shiny and lush? Stick around, because I'm sharing all my personal tricks in the next part. Alright, plant lovers. Let's talk about something many people overlook: feeding your ZZ plant. I get it. ZZ plants are known for being tough. And some people say they don't need fertilizer at all. But here's the truth: if you want those deep green, glossy leaves and faster growth, you do need to feed them, just the right way. Now, if you're the type of plant parent who loves to spoil your green babies with fertilizer, hold on. The ZZ plant likes things simple. It doesn't need fancy or frequent feeding, just a little boost a few times a year. Trust me, a little goes a long way. Here's my personal feeding routine, the one that keeps my ZZ plants thriving. In early spring, around February, I wake them up from their winter rest with a gentle, organic liquid fertilizer, something like diluted cow dung liquid or compost tea. It's like giving your plant a morning coffee boost, and it encourages fresh, healthy leaves. When summer's around the corner, usually in May, I give them a light nutritional boost. Seaweed extract or a pinch of Epsom salt works wonders. Think of it as a vitamin shot, keeping your plants strong and resilient through the hot months. Then, before winter sets in, around October, I prepare them for the colder days with mustard cake liquid fertilizer. It's rich, natural, and perfect for building up their strength to survive the winter slowdown. But here's the golden rule: less is more. Always dilute your fertilizer. I keep it safe with a 1:5 ratio, 1 part fertilizer to 5 parts water. Trust me on this: too much fertilizer, and you'll burn the roots. It's a mistake many plant lovers make. But you won't, because now you know better. And hey, if you're worried about smells, especially from things like cow dung or mustard cake, don't be. Properly decomposed organic fertilizers barely have any odor, and they're perfectly safe for indoor use. Now, what if your plant suddenly stops growing or those glossy leaves lose their shine? That's a sign it's craving nutrients. Don't panic. Just feed it lightly and be patient. The ZZ plant isn't a fast grower, but with the right care, you'll see those stems get thicker, those leaves shinier, and your plant healthier. So, to all my busy plant parents, remember this: just 3 simple feedings a year, and your ZZ plant will reward you with lush, vibrant growth. Easy, right? Alright, we've covered feeding. Now let's tackle something every plant parent faces sooner or later: yellow leaves, droopy stems, and root rot. What causes them? How to fix them? And, most importantly, how to prevent them before they start. So stick with me, because your plant care skills are about to level up. Alright, plant lovers, let's get real. Even though the ZZ plant is one of the toughest indoor plants, sometimes things do go wrong. And trust me, every plant parent has been there. You wake up one morning, And, oh, yellow leaves. Droopy stems. Or worse, that awful smell of root rot. But don't worry, because today, I'm not just telling you how to fix these problems, I'm showing you how to prevent them once and for all. Let's start with the most common issue, yellow leaves. Now, I know it's easy to panic, yellow usually means trouble. But before you worry, let's figure out why. The number one culprit? Overwatering. Remember, ZZ plants store water in their rhizomes, so they don't need frequent watering. When those rhizomes get too wet, the leaves protest by turning yellow. The solution? Cut back on watering immediately. Check the soil. If it's still damp, let it dry out completely before your next drink. But wait, what if the soil is dry and the leaves are still yellow? Then, my friend, your plant might be underfed. A lack of nutrients can also cause discoloration. In that case, it's time for a gentle, diluted fertilizer boost, like a light seaweed extract or compost tea. Next, let's talk about droopy stems. You know, the kind that makes your ZZ plant look sad and lifeless. So, what's causing it? Two things. Either it's thirsty or it's got the wrong soil. First, try the stick test. If the soil is bone dry deep down, your plant is crying for water. But if you've been watering regularly and it's still droopy, here's the problem. Your soil is too soft. Soft, loose soil doesn't give the roots enough support, so the stems start to flop. The fix? Add some coarse sand or perlite to firm up the soil. A more compact soil blend gives the roots something to grip, so the stems stand tall and proud. And finally, the nightmare every plant parent dreads, root rot. You'll know it by that foul smell and mushy stems. If this happens, don't panic, but act fast. Carefully remove your plant from the pot. And check the roots. Any that are black, mushy, or smelly, cut them off immediately. Then, wash the healthy roots, and let them air dry for a few hours. Next, repot the plant into fresh, well-draining soil, and most importantly, use a pot with drainage holes. And here's my pro tip. Add some cinnamon to the soil. Yep, cinnamon isn't just for baking, it's a natural antifungal that protects your plant from future rot. Trust me, it works. So, let's recap. Yellow leaves mean you're either overwatering or underfeeding. Droopy stems? Check your watering habits or firm up the soil. And if it's root rot, trim, repot, and sprinkle a little cinnamon for protection. Look, problems happen, even to the best plant parents. But now, you have the tools to diagnose and fix them like a pro. And here's the best part. Once you solve these little hiccups, your ZZ plant will bounce back stronger than ever. Alright, so we've covered everything from planting to feeding to troubleshooting. But before we wrap up, there's one last thing every plant lover needs to know. It's my ultimate tip for helping your ZZ plant thrive, especially if you're busy or always on the go. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. So stay with me, because we're heading to the final part. So, here we are, at the final part of our ZZ plant journey. We've covered everything from where to place your plant, how to water it right, to troubleshooting those tricky problems. But before we end, let me share one final tip, my personal secret, to help your ZZ plant thrive. No matter how busy life gets. Here's the thing. Most people overthink plant care. But the real secret? Consistency and patience. The ZZ plant grows slowly. And that's okay. It's not a race, it's a relationship. The more consistent you are with light, watering, and feeding, the healthier and happier your plant will be. Trust me, when it comes to the ZZ plant, less is more. And if you're someone with a hectic schedule, always traveling or busy at work, here's the best part. The ZZ plant loves to be left alone. Don't move it around every week. Find a spot it likes and let it settle. This plant thrives on routine. No sudden changes, just steady care. Now, if you ever need to step away for a month or even longer, don't stress. Before you go, water your ZZ plant deeply. Let it drain fully, and then leave it be. When you return, you might find a few yellow leaves, but guess what? With a little trimming and a fresh drink of water, it'll bounce back, good as new. That's the beauty of this plant, it's a survivor. And here's my favorite part. The longer you care for your ZZ plant, the more you'll realize, it's teaching you something. Patience, resilience, growth in the slow, steady moments. It's more than just a plant, it's a reminder that great things take time. So, If you've made it this far, congratulations. You're now ready to grow your ZZ plant with confidence. And if you're feeling inspired, why stop at one? Propagate, share, and fill your home with this beautiful, easygoing green companion. And hey, if you enjoyed this journey with me, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our Earthly Delights community. We're here to grow together, one plant, one story, and one delight at a time. Until next time, stay rooted, stay inspired, and keep bringing a little more green into your world. Happy planting, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.